Welcome back to Black Male Voices, where we talk about the things that hang over the heads of the black community. Once again, I'm G.
And this is Desz.
And this is... Who are you? And how do you feel about community?
I feel like it's important.
Not asking you, nigga. I'm asking the statue. This is a part of our community as well. What do you have to say?
No.
Please? No. Take your time. No. Take your time. Take your time.
I don't think he's got much.
What do you... You're always cutting somebody off. Mama done told you about that. And I've had it up to here. You're making me lose my fucking hair. Shit!
Well, the feeling is mutual.
Dun, 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 type shit. But damn, not the... Bro, you look like a villain on that Tyler Perry just now. you Tasha? She's not here. She's not here. Oh my God, bro. Tyler Perry, you're paying for your crime. You did irreparable damage to the dark-skinned man community, Tyler Perry. But you brought it back a little bit. Thank God it died down. But my God, it was hard being a dark-skinned nigga for some years.
Fuck. Shit, the double O's. Oh shit, nigga, that wasn't no time to be no dark-skinned man at all. Unless your ass was Akon. The only dark-skinned man alive.
Akon got a pass. Akon really did. He did his big one too. But yeah, like we were saying, we was talking about community. We just were talking about previously who belongs in communities, and like we said, not everybody belongs in every type of community, and that is okay. I think that when we're talking about belonging in community, we mean like integrated within. That doesn't mean everybody can't have a seat at the table, especially to listen. Like for instance, we are black males. We talk about black male issues and issues that impact black males. But many of our listeners are black females, you know what I'm saying? And some of our listeners are white people. That is okay. Those people also are part of our communities. That does not mean necessarily that they have a voice at the same time and place. Sometimes being part of a community means, like you said, just listening and asking questions. Sometimes it doesn't always mean being subject matter expert. Sometimes it just means being a passive participant and listening and taking things that you glean and learn to your community so that you can interact better and differently. So with that being said, we're going to talk about different types of communities in which black people and specifically black men inhabit. And we talked about that a little bit previously when you're talking about the family, the city, your neighborhood, the state, our country, the world. We're all members of those communities.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit more specifically about some of these communities and what it looks like to be in those communities. So give me what you got.
Like, well, something that comes to my mind right away is my martial arts community, man. Like, shout out to the compound in Silver Spring. I love you. Me and Angel love you. We miss y'all so much. Nayo misses y'all. We love y'all so much, man.
I know you part of the martial arts community. That nigga punched 3 times just to say that. That nigga he said,
I did do
yes!
that. Yeah.
I say shit.
Bro, I ain't think about it. It just went right back. But and then shout out to Legacy Training Center, man. Shout out to Legacy in New Orleans in Metairie. Man, I love y'all. Accepted me as family from day one. You know, and it's so beautiful, like, to be part of a community that is diverse and like it's no racist bullshit. Like, and people don't realize that, but it's like, because there is a very large segment of the martial arts community, and you already know they're roid-headed Republicans, and that's just what the fuck it is.
Shout out to Donald Trump.
Yeah, you know.
That guy. You sure are a guy. You are one guy having UFC on the lawn. No president's ever done that before.
No one has ever thought to do that.
And I wonder why. However, shout out to your community. Thank you to the people that love somebody that I love. I appreciate you as well.
Absolutely. And again, just accepted me with open arms in both cases. And I feel like that's something too that like would help other men to like cool their jets. It's like every nigga think he violent until he get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? And then you just like your head come back, but everything's still like the fucking Tweety
Moving.
Bird. You know what I'm saying? Or like you actually have a fight, and then 2 weeks later your brain hurts, and it's like, oh yeah, you thought you was violent, right? That's what you were like, right? No, you're not.
Niggas really
You
don't know what it's like when your brain hurt. Cause
Bro, when your brain feels like it's been in a blender,
that motherfucker be screaming.
okay, like seriously, and that's a real thing. But again, I think this is important because it's too many men who like, oh, I'm like that. It's like, bro, relax. The thing I love about martial arts, Jim, people never try each other. Because violence is like, we're all here to get better and more proficient at it. So everyone like respects each other. If you're better than somebody else, you're expected to help coach them up. Like, and everyone has someone who's better than them. So like, yeah, I really love that community. But like, that's a community I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Like, what is some ways or some institutions or communities that you're a part of?
One of the communities that I am a part of is I have a friend group that I'm a part of. Shout out to those people, Chad D, Isaiah T, Gabby and her friends. Very much so. Shout out to them, Ari and Danny. Appreciate all of y'all and her friends. So I pretty much have a vibrant friend group that I'm a part of, and we talked about this previously too. I think one thing that is in community that needs to be stated is that conflict will be there. Like there will never not be conflict because you're two different people who have two different perspectives. I think the beauty of community is that conflict allows me the opportunity to know you better because conflict means there was something about you I did not know before, and that is why we had that miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that community. I'm part of. I play pool, so I'm part of pool community. You know, little niche, little interest. Be shooting my shit. I'm okay. I'm not great. It's niggas on the team that's way. Shout out to Marcus. That is. He don't like when I call him a nigga. So that young African American man sure knows how to shoot that wood. He sure know. Pow!
Pause.
Pow! No play. All right, that nigga be bow. He be killing that bitch. Some more communities. Church. Shout out to them. Renew. Love. That'll always be family. And they'll always have a special place in my heart. I saw remember Brother Mott. I actually saw Brother Mott when I was out shooting pool, and he was talking about you. He was just talking about and I think that's another blessing of community. Is when you stay in community long enough, you get to watch people grow up.
Man,
and
what?
that is and that brings me to another community, education. My idea family, love y'all very bad, and will always love y'all. And my family in EBR that I have found and built. But that has brought me the joy of watching people grow up, and I think that's also a part of community. Because I was at Tony's Seafood getting me a shrimp etouffee plate because I love.
Hey, we real BR. Real BR.
I love etouffee too bad, so I'm in there trying to order my etouffee plate, and there's this little girl that was standing in the line behind me, and she just was looking up at me with her mouth agape, and I was like, that's a child, so I'm like, whatever. She with her mom. And she say, "Are you Mr. G?" And I said, "Yeah, baby, that's me." And she hit her mom, and she say, "Mom, that man is teaching me how to read at my school." She said he come to my school and teach my teacher how to teach me better, and he is so funny. And you don't want to be motherfucking crying in no Tony Seafood. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
crying in the etouffee.
Yeah, I don't want to cry to my etouffee. It's spicy and shit. Smell like fish. You got my tear ducts open. Niggas like, why he crying next to the live fish, the little tilapia?
Looking at you.
That's crazy. But there've been multiple moments like that where somebody have said that. There was one time I was at a skating rink because I was skating at one point in time, and there was a girl that I taught. She when she was in second grade, she got into a car accident, and she had a traumatic brain injury, and she lost like a lot of time in school, and she regressed in her reading. So when she came to me in third grade, I sat with her and we got her up. She was in second grade and she was on level, but when she had the injury, she regressed like to like first grade or kindergarten level. And sat with her, you know, every day in there getting it, reading. And she left the school the year after that. That was COVID year. So I also taught her volleyball when we came back the following year. So she was on the team, didn't get to play much, so she wasn't good. And I remember it was like the end of the school year, and she just was crying. She's like, she don't want it. She's gonna quit volleyball. She said, I'm tired of volleyball. I'm sick of volleyball. I don't want to play anymore. And I said, why? She said, I don't get to play. I'm not that good. The ball always comes to me, and I don't get to get it. And I said, okay, let's play. So we went in the gym, and me and her just was bumping back and forth. And then her friends came, and they wanted to play too. And we just kept on going. This is like the last few days of school, and we just kept going. And her coach came, she played, and we just kept playing. We kept on going. I go out skating, and this has to be like, that was COVID. It had to be like 2023. And I'm skating. I see her there. So I hadn't seen her for 2 or 3 years. And I skate up to her. She collapses on the ground crying. And her friends were there. It was her birthday. And she says, they're like, what's wrong with her? Is that her dad or something? She know him? And she say, no, y'all don't understand. That man taught me how to read. When nobody believed in me, he taught me how to read. Ooh. And I'm in there. I'm getting emotional right now. Because she just looked, she was so tall and she was so healthy. And she really was like, she said, I would have never made it here without you. And her mama showed me a video of her playing volleyball. And she like, oh, you know, she's doing so well. She's a star of the team. And she showed me her on Woodline. And I'm like, that's what it means to be in community. I saw somebody from 6 years old. And now you're 11, 12 years old, and I'm watching a video of you playing volleyball, something that I saw you break down crying because you couldn't do.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm helping you read something that you lost, and we got it back together.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I see that. And to me, like, those communities, like, it's so powerful because you don't really realize the impact that you have in your community until moments like that. Like somebody like you're really pouring into somebody and you don't even know if what you're doing is making a difference. And that person come to you and say, I wouldn't exist as I am today without that thing that you did that one time. You know what I'm saying? And that is the power of community.
I do want to speak on that real quick.
Go ahead.
Building on what you're saying, one of the magical things about community is collective remembrance. Because
that's what we talked about today at the art thing.
Yeah, man. Like, we believe, and this is it's another lie from colonialism and colonization, that you can remember your life. That is deeply anti-African and anti-black. Like, we remember us, right? Again, the notion of Ubuntu. I am because we are. And I know a lot of people say that. Y'all, I did Peace Corps in Eswatini, Africa. I know people whose last name are Ubuntu. Like, they live it. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very different.
It's visceral.
Again, like when they greet each other, the greeting they teach you before you go over there is Salbona. It means I see you, right? That's not how they greet each other. Most times when they greet each other, they say Sani Bonani. They speak in the plural. Sani Bonani means how are you all? As in the people you come from, the house that you came from. How does that house go? Because it's an understanding that it's not just you, right, as an individual. And so when we think about our lives or the stories that you told or that you reference, we think that we remember it all, right? You think you remember your life. Like, you talking about Brother Mott. I'm like, damn, in my head, I'm like, man, when the last time I seen Brother Mott? And you talking about Brother Mott talking about me. I'm like, Brother Mott thinks about me? That's crap. I would never even think. But there are probably so many stories from my childhood growing up that he knows
that you've lost,
that I lost. And then I'm at different chapters in my life, and I'm like, man, who am I? What are my tendencies? Where does this come from? And it takes you being in community with people who've been, boy,
to remind you of who you are.
You've been like that since you were 7.
To remind you,
it's your nature.
And I think that what you're talking about too, to connect to another concept, the Buddhist concept of emptiness. None of us are simply the self. We're all empty of self. We are because of our communities. We are because of the things that are around us. All of those things inform us, and they are in constant conversation with us, informing us of who we are, and we're informing them of what they are. We are all in constant, like, asking questions and answering questions. And I think that when you're talking about the collective memory, that is that emptiness. We're empty of self because we all are together. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about communities, and we're talking about especially the relational aspect of them. And I want to talk a little bit about communities and state power. And I say that because I think many times we feel that the state gives our communities legitimacy. And I think that that can be stated to a degree, in a sense that they are given legitimacy because they are seen and recognized by the state. But to be in community with one such as the state, a being such as the state, means that you are, to an extent, relinquishing a certain amount of power to the states and allowing it to signify upon your existence and being. Because just like the state can say that you exist, the state can also say that you do not exist.
Yeah.
They can claim you as a person, and then they can remove your personhood. And we see that within the communities that many of us are related to tangentially. When the ICE things first began, shout out to ICE, fuck ya. Um, we, I worked in a school that was predominantly Hispanic. Those people were picking up parents outside of the school.
Man.
And in some schools, they were trying to rush into them. You seen in Minnesota, they was trying to rush into the school.
Shout out to them brave
souls. And I would say at this point, ancestors and leaders in what it means to organize. Like, y'all, they always do their big one when it comes to that. But state power can recognize communities, but they also have outsized ability to disrupt communities in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it is important that we be careful when certain communities are recognized by the state of what comes along with that. Because oftentimes the acknowledgement of the state comes with the desecration of the sanctity of the community.
Wow. I think that statement is a great segue into the conversation about HBCUs. And you know, I got to talk about this as an HBCU graduate. I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, we grew up down the street from Southern. Like, we was on Southern's campus every single I can't think of a homecoming that, like...
That was part of being us. Like, that was part of being Collins.
No, literally.
Like, we tailgating all the time. Like, that just was like, I never even thought of it as nothing. It's just like, it's football season.
Wasn't special.
Sean Coleman. Shout out Sean Coleman. One of our first friends. Like, your cousins is some of your first friends. Sean Coleman, Dre. Love y'all. Big bad. Like, it's a place in my heart that nobody could touch, nobody could see that y'all reside in. Real shit.
Real talk, bro.
But yeah, HBCUs, talk about it. As an alumni
of a HBCU institution. But I'm going to start with this Bell Hooks quote from her book, Teaching Community, and then I'm going to circle back to the actual conversation about HBCUs, right? Throughout my career as a democratic educator, I have known many brilliant students who seek education, who dream of service in the cause of freedom, who despair or become fundamentally dismayed because colleges and universities are structured in ways that dehumanize, that lead them away from the spirit of community in which they long to live their lives. More often than not, these students, especially gifted students of color from diverse class backgrounds, give up hope. They do poorly in their studies. They take on the mantle of victimhood. They fail. They drop out. Most of them have no guides to teach them how to find their way in educational systems that those structured to maintain domination are not closed systems and are therefore have within them subcultures of resistance where education as the practice of freedom still happens. Way too many gifted students never find these subcultures, never encounter the democratic educators who can help them find their way. They lose heart.
And where's that from? I know you said Bell Hooks. What book?
That is Teaching Community by Bell Hooks. And if you don't know Bell Hooks, phenomenal feminist, black womanist, author, educator, world travel, great friends with Thich Nhat Hanh and Paulo Freire, like just someone who should be in your canon of people. I need to read a book by this person.
If you are serious about being set free and also serious about figuring out what the world looks like after we get free, that is somebody that you must read, must read. I think that too, when I hear what you're saying that Bell Hooks said, and her words should resonate and reverberate throughout all halls, not just halls of education, but all halls. Something that I think that comes across to me is that community means to be amongst, not to be above or to be below.
Yes, and I think this relates to what you're talking about, because we forget that most of these institutions that are historically black institutions, first of all, they were started by the Freedmen's Bureau, which was a federally funded program, right? Or they were land grant colleges like Southern Agricultural and Mechanical, like, or FAMU, like, or MCAT, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are schools where it was public. It was public funds, federal funds, or state funds that were used to open up this institution. What does that mean? That means that they control the steering wheel. And so you're expecting from this black school a black experience. But the reality is we have white dollars that pay for all of this. You know, like, I think when I was working at Xavier, something around 78% of the students are on some type of federal funding. 78. So that means if we got 10 people here, 80 of y'all can't pay for this. That's just what it is. And so that means that, okay, yeah, we give you money, you do what we tell you to do, right? And so that means that you have people, administrators, coming around and saying things like, oh, you shouldn't wear do-rags because that's going to make sure you don't get a job after you graduate. Yo, I've worked several jobs after I graduated. Not one of those people said, can you show me a picture of what you look like in undergrad? Like, just on a random day, like on the yard, can you just like pull it up on your phone? I just want to see. But the reality is, these black institutions are worried about their white dollars leaving. This has nothing to do with whether or not you're going to get a fucking job after you graduate.
It's an aesthetic.
It's about the aesthetic. If too many of y'all are wearing bonnets, when the Board of Trustees come, they're going to say, what are we doing? Right? And the Board of Trustees is just a bunch of people who can help keep this place open when y'all Negroes can't pay your bills. Right? They're going to find the money somewhere else. So if they don't like what you look like, we're going to have a problem. And this is the honest conversation that these institutions are not having. And I'm sick of it. All right? When we talk about these communities, I'm sick of the fucking lies. All right? No one, as a grown-ass fucking adult, goes to college to be treated like a child. All right? And I went to grad school for higher education administration. I understand in loco parentis, which literally translates to in place of the parent, where that was what education was. But that's not what it is now. Okay? At the end of the day, some of these people are being supported by their parents, but that doesn't make them a child. Even if they are here on their own volition and will as an adult, and they should be regarded as such. Tell them the truth. If y'all keep dressing like this, we don't know how long the door is going to be open. But you know what? If I was a HBCU in fucking Alabama, I'd have bigger priorities. And that's what I really want to talk about. When we talk about these communities and when they are state-sponsored by these larger financial institutions or whatever, we move, the goalpost is moved so many times, and we expect students to just dance along. We are generations of integrity. We don't play that shit because we know respectability politics don't matter, baby. Malcolm X died in a suit. Dr. King died in a suit. Sandra Bland ain't have no bonnet on. All right, let's have the real conversations. Y'all playing these fucking games with these white people. But you know what's crazy? It's really only the white thousandaires who respect that type of shit. Because the millionaires, they looking for real fucking people. Like, they're looking for real. You think Mackenzie Scott care if you got a do-rag on? Huh? Y'all so broke trying to shake your ass for people. You not realizing that the people who actually care don't care about the bullshit. They just care that you're educating black children and changing their lives. And you're willing to potentially, this is the other thing I said too, just between us girls. I really hope that they keep this rule around fucking homecoming. Oh, I'm waiting for that.
Well, they can't do that because that's gonna fuck up their dollars.
No. Tell the alumni they can't wear do-rags and bonnets, please. Oh, no, my bad. Your concert. What artists you getting? They better not come up with no do-rag or no bonnet on their head. Boy, I hope they do. I want every artist this year to go to a HBCU with a do-rag or bonnet on their head for homecoming. Just to shit on all of these people. They finna be so mad I'm not gonna be able to work at any HBCU. I want these people to do this because I want us to all see how arbitrarily stupid this is. And this is just one of the ways that we police black people and then we expect them to feel safe in community.
Right.
But it's not safe.
And I will say, I think, too, when we're talking about community, we're talking about this aesthetic of homogeneity that appeals to the white gaze. That is why there's so much time, effort that is put into this, and there's so much less that is talking about graduation rates. There's so much less that's talking about the rampant sexual assaults that are going on campuses and have been persisting for a long time. That is, when we're talking about communities and being safe, those are the things that really need to be addressed. Those are the places that dollars need to be spent, not on messaging that is about the fact that somebody wore a do-rag on their head. That is unimportant. That is inconsequential. My god brother wore a do-rag every single day. He just got his master's. I took my classes in undergrad from my bed. I take my doctorate classes from my bed. Like, these are things that people who do not matter concern themselves with. Let's talk about whether or not these institutions are empowering black and brown boys, girls, and people of various identities to be able to use their agency to speak their voices and speak truth to power in these white halls that y'all trying to prepare them for, not acquiesce to the white gaze at every single chance they get. You should not be preparing people who know how to lay down and bow down. You need to be preparing people who can get up and stand up.
I gotta tell you this story. I was having a conversation with my major professor when I was attending Fisk University, and I was a organizer activist at the time.
Okay.
And there was a small group of us. I mean, it's a small school at the time. It enrolled around like 800 students, believe it or not. And again, that was smaller than our high school. So
literally smaller than Baton Rouge High.
Literally smaller. So there are like 4 or 5 folks who are like kind of the main people who are kind of known to do things like this and be rabble rousers, right? And so this was one.
And you're one of the 4 or 5.
I was obviously one of the 4 or 5. I just keep.
You got a shiesty on right now. You love rousing the
I
rabble.
wore this shit to homecoming, like the last time I went. Hey man, fucking up ain't learned none. All right, but
went to school and didn't learn that.
Ain't learned a fucking thing, bro. I'm sitting here talking about major professor, and we're talking about we were going to what was this? This was Mike Brown. So we're going to what was that? St. Louis? Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're going to St. Louis. Telling her we're getting some students. We're going to St. Louis.
Rest in power.
Rest in peace, rest in power. I want you to hear what I have to say, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
I won't.
A lot of people get caught up in this thing. I had a lot of good friends, and it just doesn't work for them. It just never panned out the way that they thought. And I even had this conversation with Justin Jones, and I told him the same thing. Now Justin Jones, the motherfucking state representative that all you niggas keep sharing on social media, can't get enough of this nigga. But you was talking shit about him in undergrad. This is what the fuck is wrong with y'all. You have no balls. Okay? You have no gumption.
People to this school to disempower them.
You recruit niggas to this school because of the Freedom Riders. You steady talking about John Lewis. You steady talking about W.B. Du Bois. You steady talk about Nikki Giovanni, who burned down a building on Fisk campus because of the administration at the school. Burned the building down. Nikki Giovanni, y'all love lauding her. She is not your prostitute and you not the pimp. You didn't make her. As a matter of fact, you tried to break her. And y'all try to break every student like that. Y'all try to break every student like that to this day. You don't want nobody talking about the AI data centers. Fuck them data centers.
Fuck them data centers.
Fuck them data centers.
Fuck them data centers.
That should not be a brave thing to say. Like, it's very stupid. Nigga, just go down the street to Memphis. If you want to see what an AI data center does, go to Memphis. Go see what motherfucking, what's his name? Dumbass. What the fuck
Which
is
one? Elon?
Elon. Go see what the fuck he did. All right? Go see what he did. And then see if you want that shit on your campus. Oh, it's going to be small. Who give a fuck? Like you said last time.
A little cancer.
And again, meanwhile, my senior project for undergrad was on Cancer Alley. I said, oh, we're going to talk some shit? Let me talk my shit. All right, because I come from the bottom. Oh, came from the bottom. No, nigga, I come from, you can't breathe, bitch. Don't breathe, don't drink water. That's the reality.
What it is, 600% times the cancer rate, 6 times the cancer rate of the national average down here in Cancer Alley. Shout out Cancer Alley. You doing your big one, bitch.
Hey, hey, came out swinging and didn't stop.
Didn't have it stop swinging. Also, shout out to Exxon, bitch. Y'all knew about the global warming and the cancer. You niggas.
They are both.
You will pay me your crimes.
That's me, baby. Exxon, Cancer Alley, climate change, mobile. Nigga.
You will pay for your crimes, bitch.
But again, like, we focus as an institution on so much bullshit, man, and we have to move away from that. And so, like, I would, again even encourage students, like Bell Hooks said, find those pockets of resistance. That is so important to believe and have hope and keep doing the work until you find your people, yo.
Right.
Like, but in any given setting, whether that's church, whether that is school, whether that's your martial art, whatever, pool, you gonna find your people. But you gotta keep being the people who you want to find so that you can find those people.
Straight like that. That goes directly into what I was saying about my next topic of what we owe our communities. And I think we owe our communities integrity, honesty, and vulnerability. Whew. And the reason I say that is because I remember when I was 16, 17 years old, and I was like, I don't know who I am because I spent so much of my time trying to perform a role that was not fit for me. And I determined, I think, from that time, 17 to 20, I was trying to figure out who I was. And I said, I'm going to look at all the things that I've placed into, that are in me. I'm going to unpack all of those things. And I'm going to look at all of them. And the things that I like, I'm going to take in. And the things that I do not like, I'm going to reject. And what ended up happening was I became an individual who was more true to themselves and who did not shrink. And because of that, I found so many people, I just would be outside, like saying how I felt online, saying how I felt, doing the things that I felt like doing. If I felt like dancing, I danced. If I felt like singing, I sung. If I felt like crying, I cried. If I felt like laughing, I laughed. If I felt like being a fool, then I was the biggest jester you've seen. And what ultimately happened was people saw me doing those things, and they said, "You're so funny. I want to be in community with you. You're so intelligent and articulate. I want to learn how you learn. Please teach me. You're so kind. How do you get so kind?" And I'm talking about men, women, children. People are like, "Hey, whatever it is that you got, we need that over here." Or like, "I know some more people who are like me who would love to hear what you have to say. So come over here." My community was built because I was who I was.
Authenticity.
And I think that that's what we owe our community. We owe our community that when we see something wrong, we say, that's wrong. When we see something right, we say that's right. And when we see somebody that we love doing something wrong, we hold them accountable. But when we see that same person that we love on a random day, you see that person and you say, I want you to really know, I would not be who I am today without you. And I love you. You know
That's
what I'm
real.
saying?
That's
Because
real.
people do not hear that enough, and they feel I'm in the community. I don't know how I'm valued or to the degree I'm valued. And
But
we
I hear
have.
them criticisms though.
Oh, I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell people, like if I love you, you not. I don't want when we had when our aunts passed. Rest in power to T Sharian.
Rest
I
in power
remember
to T-Sharon.
and to Nana.
Man, rest in
When
power.
they passed, I remember I told myself, I will never let somebody have to wonder how I feel about them. Because people deserve certainty in a world of ambiguity. And I think that is something that I feel that we owe our communities. So we owe them certainty. I'm going to show up. I will be here.
Yeah.
And I value you. Now, and you might be sick today. And you might not do what you did yesterday. But because of what you did yesterday,
I'ma
I'm
love
going
you
to
today.
usher you in to a place of health today. And
Come
if you
on.
never make it back to a place of health today, that collective memory will sustain your life forever.
Man.
And you may pass away, but you will live on because the collective memory, the love that we shared, will always hold you. It will
Yeah.
always cradle you gently but firmly.
I think something else that we owe our community is courage. And I say that Maya Angelou has a quote, and I might be butchering it, but courage is the virtue that covers all, or like undergirds all, or like the essence of what she's saying is like it's the first. Like, without courage, we kind of don't have the ability to live out any other values. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, when we talk about integrity, or we talk about love, or we talk about faith, or we talk about resilience, the first thing you got to do is you got to be brave. Because it's scary. Like
Even to love.
being in love is. I'm married. All right, like me and my wife, we don't always like each other. I'll never forget this. She said one day I was like, I don't really like, where our marriage is, or like how you kind of showing up, and she said, well, that makes sense. You don't always like yourself. Boy, talk about put a foot in my mouth. I was like, damn.
You better
But
eat that up.
but that's so true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so true. You don't always like yourself. Like, but you have to be courageous enough to say that. And to admit that I didn't like myself, but I stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give up. And
I'm
that
here
was
for me.
yeah, and that was scary. But you have to do that with your community too. And again, that's scary. But you can do it. You can be there for other people. And I'm not saying you got to be there for other people more than yourself or like you are there for yourself, but you have to show up for people in a courageous way, not just in a way that's always comfortable and I don't know, like easygoing or without conflict, like we
Right.
were talking about.
And I'm also gonna say, in addition to that, for your community, you need to show up in a way that is needed, not in a way that is convenient. And I think that is also hard too, because whether your community be a large group of people or be a community of two, you and your partner, or you and your friend, or whatever, a lot of times people show up in a way that is easy for them, not in a way that the other person needs. And I think
Yes.
that community acts what is needed and does it, or says I can't do it, but I can get the resources to do it, because that's what love is. Maybe you can't show up the way that the person that you really really love needs you to, and that is okay. Or the community that you really really love needs you to. That is okay. Every human being has limitations, but love finds a way.
Always.
Community finds a way. And if
Yes.
we are in communities, then those are the things, some of the virtues, not all of the virtues, but those are some of the virtues that we owe our communities.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we about to wrap this up a little bit, but as we do, I want you to talk about what you feel communities owe us.
What communities owe us? I think safety. I think communities do owe us safety. And I think it's important to define what safety is. I think it is a space of wellness in our bodies, minds, soul, spirit, and shared. Like, we should be able to be well. That's safe. Like,
Yes.
we can be well and good to each other and with each other. Again, physically, socially, spiritually, emotionally. I feel like that's what community owes us.
Right. I agree, and I was thinking safety too, but since you fucking stole my word, um, I'm gonna say I think community owes us belonging. And
Wow.
when I say that, I mean you should be able to show up and collapse in your community.
Man.
And know that when you wake up, you are held. It should be like your mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I went to sleep. I'm there. I might be confused because as a baby, it feel like you teleported. Yeah. But I can be uncertain, but I'm still sure that right here I'm safe. Around me,
yes,
everything might be in a constant state of flux.
Yeah.
But in my community, I have a place. I know who I am because we are. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's really what it means to be in community.
Yeah.
And I think that that is what our communities owe us. And at the present moment, when everything feels like it is in a state of flux, when it feels like we are being told what to think, and oftentimes we're being told not to think, we're being told what to do, we're being told who belongs in community, and every day that community is shrinking. We're being told that certain people don't belong in our community, or that community doesn't look like you, or that because you're not a woman, you don't look like I think a woman should look, you're not part of our community, or you're not manly like I think a man should be, you're not a part of our community. In a day and age in which we are trying to constantly cast people out to what we know is certain doom, but many people who have this institutional and state power, while casting you out to certain doom, are too pussy to bring that doom straight to you, so they use many other powers and mechanisms of the state to do so. I think that it is even more important that we endeavor to stretch our arms out and bring more people into our community, because one of our communities is the world. And everybody, if communities owe us belonging and safety, then everybody is my neighbor. Everybody belongs, and I should do what I can to keep everybody safe. I don't give a fuck if you Hispanic. I don't give a fuck if you trans. I don't give a fuck if you bi. I don't give a fuck if you got 4 legs, 2 dicks, and 5 assholes. You belong. You exist. You deserve community, and you should be safe. Should not have to wonder if you are cared for. You're cared for.
I think I'm going to go a little bit into a myth that I've kind of concocted.
Okay.
At first, there was, this African community, and everybody got along. And this was like all of humanity, right? Everybody got along. Everybody was good. This is dad, this is mom. They have their roles. These are the kids. They have their roles. Grew into a village, same thing, right? Then people start bucking the system. They're cast out. Oh, we disown you. We disown you. You are gone. You are forgotten. You are like nothing to us. So you're gone.
Fucking crazy.
You're cast out. You're gone. That's what it is. But you travel, right? You find other people who are cast out. Y'all get together. You develop a village, right? Develop a community. And so this keeps happening, but they do the same thing, right? And everybody does it for their own reasons, but you got kicked out, right? So this happens far enough until some niggas get kicked so far, right, nigga, you can't be on Africa no more, bitch. If I see you ever again, it's done. You're cooked, right? So where do they go? They go to Europe. And so they go to Europe. Europe's cold.
This is a crazy myth.
Hey, man, Europe's cold. It's not like Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to grow shit, right? Terrain's not too good. Weather's not the best, right? And then these people develop over thousands of years.
In Yakub's lab. Yakub, you another nigga that'll pay for your crimes.
Pay for your fucking crimes. And then one day they come back and the children of the children of the children of the children who were abandoned, enslaved, the children of the children of the children of the children of the village who stayed and didn't say anything. That's my theory. That's my myth. And I genuinely believe this not at all. But what I do believe is that we continue to allow people to get cast out and say nothing. And that is the lesson that I think we as African people have still not fucking learned. In all of our pride and arrogance and, oh, we're a black original man, and your original ass still making the original fucking stupid decisions. Stop getting rid of people because they're albino and you think you can grind their bones up for medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing certain things. Like, stop getting rid of people because they're queer. Stop getting rid of women because, oh, she cannot give children. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these dumbass, and again, we can sit there and we can say that because that's, quote unquote, not our culture. But we are the children of those people, and we practice the same things. And I genuinely believe if we took the time to just see the humanity and stop focusing on original man and African, and not that those things are unimportant. We are black and we are African, and we should be proud of that. That's not something to be ashamed of. Anybody know me? I'm pro-black, I'm pro-African, I'm pan-African. Free the motherland, nigga. But point blank period, if Taiwan not free, how free can Africa be? If, like, I don't feel like this is a foreign concept. Like, if India and Africa are not that far. If you've ever been to Durban, shit, you gonna see a bunch of fucking Indians, okay? And if you go through the history, you'll understand why. But now there's this xenophobic rise where they killing foreigners from different countries. Africans are killing Indians, are killing people from, because, oh, they're taking all the jobs. What does that sound like? It sounds like fucking Republicans here. Like, the issue is not with the person who you can see and touch. The issue is the nigga who keep giving them other people the jobs. But we're so quick to cast out when we should call in. And that's like what I, again, want people to get from this myth that I concocted in my head. That, yo, instead of doing the easy thing of dooming someone to their demise, like you said, and not even actually fucking doing it, just do the hard thing. Try to, like, yeah, you're different than me, but you still belong to me. And I want to understand how and why so that I can love you and anyone like you who's in my community better.
And I think that we all deserve that. Everyone deserves to be in a space where they're accepted by the people that they're by. And they're going to get it wrong. And they're going to get it wrong a lot, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But they only got to get it right one time to learn. I'm an educator. As when somebody get it right that first time, the light that comes off in their eyes, that epiphany moment, I live for that. Because now I can replicate it. It's a science. And now because I have the person that comes after me, they don't have to make the mistakes that I made. So rather than casting people out of our community, we've made ourselves safer by bringing people in and allowing them to have a conversation with us about what community looks like. Yeah.
And you guaranteeing that they won't come back and colonize your ass in 500 years, dumb nigga.
But yeah, this was Blackmail Voices. I'm G.
I'm Desz.
Peace. Oh, before I go, I do want to give another shout out. Shout out to Charles. Charles made this shirt. It's by Forever Fresh BR. Go check them out at foreverfreshbr.com. So, shout out to you, Charles, part of my idea family. Again, I'm G.
Desz.
And this is
Blackmail Voices. We deliver.
We deliver.